Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are in the apartment because we are working on this right behind me, the door. Let me show you what I've done so far and what we're gonna be doing. As you guys saw, I flipped the door around and I deburred these holes that were here because there was a bit of edges that could cut you and might make it difficult to install the hardware when it comes time to install it, because we have gotten all the hardware in. I also use some acetone to clean off the, oils, grease, and everything that's on the doors that our eyes cannot pick up. And today we're gonna be painting this door. I hate painting, but we're gonna make the best out of this. So we have the primer here, which is just regular flat paint. And we have some Scuff X satin finish that we're going to be using as the finish coat. We're gonna be doing one coat of primer, maybe two, and 2 coats of the finish coat. So maybe 1 and then 2 of these. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how this covers and how it looks after. Then over here, we have a 3/16 nap that I'm gonna be using for the finish coat. And this is a 1/4 inch nap for the primer. And I also have these two because I have a 4-inch roller inside of here that I'm going to be using for the sides. We also here have 220 grit sandpaper, and we're going to be using this when we finish the one coat with the primer, just because there might be some lumps in it and stuff. So, cut up the primer just so that the finish coat could grab better. Unfortunately, the door is not hanging and I do not want to hang it. So what we're going to be doing is painting the 1 or 2 coats, I don't know how many, first on this side, the left side and the right side, and then the face. Once the first and second coat, depending how much I do again, I'm going to flip it and then do the primer on the other side. Just saying that out loud raises my blood pressure because it is very annoying for me to paint, but we're gonna make the best out of it. It's very easy to do, it's not complicated. If the door was hanging, it'll be even a little easier just because you don't have to be flipping this door back and forth, banging the door into the ceiling and making damage in your painted walls, which you're gonna have to paint later on in the future, making things more complicated. But it is what it is. But all we could do now is get into it and start painting. Okay, unfortunately, I forgot to press record, but I've done 2 coats. And the main reason why I've done 2 coats, 1 coat would have been enough, but since we are pretty much out of paint, I'm gonna be throwing this out. I just decided to use all the paint instead of throwing out paint. So we have this side covered and this side covered. Now that all is left is to let this dry and sand it a little bit just to get some bumps off, but we're looking good. One of the tricks that I use that a painter showed me is that when you're done rolling it up and down and the coverage looks good, he says to go from the bottom up, and just do that so that the bristles of the roller is, going in one direction and you don't have overlap in 2 different directions. If you guys seen the video with me painting the cabinets, it's kind of the same thing, bringing the roller in one direction so everything's going smooth. Because if you go up and down, you're gonna see that one is up and down in the final coat. So yeah, so we're gonna let this dry, we're gonna sand it, and then we're gonna turn it around, do the primer on the other side, 2 coats, and then start doing the finish. So I got the paint ready, the finish coat. I got the door ready. I sanded it and got it all prepped. The camera's not focusing. So the door is prepped and ready to be getting the finished coats. I did 2 coats on each side, sanded it, and used a yellow tack cloth to get all the dust off. So now we are ready to start putting the satin finish and get this door painted and on its way to get mounted. So let's start doing that. So we are officially done painting this door. So we did 2 coats of primer and 3 coats of finish, and it came out pretty bad, and I'm gonna show you why from this angle. If you look from this angle, you can see the streaks, how it doesn't look good at all. You see where the streaks of the rollers are. And also if we zoom in and look in an angle, you can see that there's a lot of orange peel and it has a texture to it, which is no good. So eventually, sometime in the future, after hanging it and putting all the hardware on it, I'm gonna have to take everything apart with the door hanging and sand that. And when the painter comes to paint this door, because I am not gonna be painting any more doors, he could also paint this one. So yeah. Unfortunately, that is where we are with this project. I hate painting. For this exact reason, I spent almost a whole day painting this door and it came out like crap. So it is what it is. We're just gonna have to move along with this project. So on the next video, we are going to be installing the hardware, hanging the door, putting it in its place, taking this door and bringing it downstairs. That's gonna be another video. But yeah, at least we're moving forward in this project. We're finally gonna have the wood encased metal door in the front door, which is fireproof and, you know, thief proof. So if you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. Any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. And if you're interested in seeing this door get installed and everything else going on in this apartment and basement, consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.